Have you ever felt like you're in a losing battle with a bag of chips? You know that intense, gotta have it now urge for some specific food? It can feel totally random, right? Well, today, we're gonna crack that code. We are diving deep into the actual science behind why you get hungry.
So let's get right into it. Why does that craving for chocolate or pizza feel so powerful, so completely uncontrollable? If you've ever beaten yourself up thinking it's just a lack of willpower, I've got some really good news. It is not just in your head. It's actually a very complex biological signal your body is sending you.
That's right, and this is the main thing I want you to remember. It's not a personal failure. It's all about your hormones. See, your body has this incredible internal messaging system, this whole network that's constantly talking to your brain about energy and, you guessed it, hunger. So, okay, let's dive in.
We're calling this whole thing the craving conundrum. And to really solve it, we've got to meet the two main players in your body's hunger story. They have this kind of push and pull relationship that's running the show, telling you when to eat and when you've had enough.
Okay, first up, meet ghrelin. The easiest way to think about ghrelin is as your body's hunger alarm. It's made in your stomach, and the levels start to climb when your stomach's empty. That's when it sends a loud, clear message up to your brain that says, hey, time to get some food in here.
And on the flip side, you've got leptin. Now, if ghrelin is the alarm that gets you to eat, leptin is the messenger that tells you to stop. It's released from your fat cells, and it basically works like a fuel gauge signaling to your brain, okay, we're good on energy, you can put the fork down now.
So you can see right here how they're perfect opposites, right? Ghrelin from your stomach basically yells, eat before a meal, and then leptin from your fat stores calmly says, we're full, when your energy is topped up. You know, when it works, it's this really beautiful, balanced system that keeps our energy just right.
But how did scientists even figure out how powerful this leptin fuel gauge really is? Well, the story is pretty cool. It involves a huge discovery that came from some very, very hungry mice. This simple comparison basically changed everything we thought we knew. On the left, that's a mouse that genetically can't make any leptin. And without that I'm full signal, it's just hungry all the time, it overeats, and it becomes obese. Now look at the normal mouse on the right. This one experiment just blew the doors open, showing that leptin is the crucial off switch for hunger.
But here comes the plot twist. What happens when this elegant little system breaks down? What happens when your brain just stops listening to that I'm full signal, even when it's being sent loud and clear? Well, that's a condition called leptin resistance. You see, for a lot of people who are overweight, their bodies are actually making tons of leptin. Their levels are super high. The problem is, the brain has gone deaf to the signal. It's like the I'm full message is being sent over and over, but the brain's voicemail is full. Nobody's picking up the phone. So, what's a huge, everyday factor that can completely scramble this communication system? What makes us more resistant to that full signal and way more sensitive to the hungry one? The answer might actually surprise you. It has a lot to do with what happens when you turn out the lights.
Just look at these numbers. This is what happens after only 2 nights of bad sleep. Your hunger alarm, ghrelin, it shoots up by a whopping 28%. Meanwhile, your fullness messenger, leptin, drops by 18%. And what's the result? A 23% jump in hunger and cravings, especially for those sugary, high-carb foods. It's a perfect hormonal storm for cravings.
Okay, so that's the bad news. Our signals can get crossed. And it's even worse when we're tired. But the great news is that we are not helpless here. There are totally practical, science-backed ways to help reset these hormones and get back in the driver's seat.
First, we can start with food. Just making sure you get about 20 to 30 grams of protein in a meal can keep you feeling full for hours. Upping your daily fiber just a little bit can actually cut your overall calorie intake pretty significantly. And then you have compounds in things like green tea or even cayenne pepper that can naturally help dial down those hunger signals.
And it goes beyond food too. Simple little lifestyle tweaks can make a huge difference. Like drinking a big glass of water before a meal. It's a proven way to eat less. And like we just saw, getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep is absolutely non-negotiable for keeping these hormones balanced. And if a craving does hit, seriously, a quick 15-minute walk can be all it takes to kick it to the curb. You know, it's also about having a game plan. When that craving hits, you don't have to just sit there and fight it. Having a smart swap ready to go, like grabbing a piece of fruit when you want candy or some crunchy carrots instead of chips, can satisfy that urge in a much healthier way. And here's another really powerful mental trick you can use. Just delay. The next time a big craving strikes, don't just give in right away.
Set a timer on your phone for 30 minutes. Go do something else, anything else. A lot of the time, you'll find that by the time that timer goes off, the craving has totally lost its power.
So as we start to wrap this all up, I think the biggest idea to walk away with is that we have to move beyond this idea of a battle of willpower. It's really not about fighting against your own body.
I mean, if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. Real successful hunger management is all about understanding these signals we've been talking about. It's about choosing to work with your body's amazing, complex physiology instead of trying to beat it into submission.
And really, it all comes together in a more holistic way. This isn't just about what you eat. A truly smart approach combines good nutrition, regular movement, and, just as important, understanding the mind-body connection that drives all of your choices.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. When you look at our modern world, with the constant stress, the chronic lack of sleep, and an endless supply of scientifically engineered delicious foods, is it possible that our world is basically designed to break these delicate hunger signals? Definitely something to chew on.